Good morning, everyone. Guess what? I found Tom. He was just wandering around out back.
Yep.
I was like, do you want to come in? He was like, oh yeah, that's good. Tom's here. Tom went to visit his family.
In Connecticut.
And the thing about that is you go up, but you got to come back
down.
So Tom's back. Tom is like a stray cat. You would say that Tom is like a
manatee.
Tom cat. Oh. Slightly different direction.
See, look. I was telling you last night. Connecticution.
Connecticution.
Yep.
That's really the name?
Yep.
Connecticution.
We're talking about the how Hoosiers are able to pronounce whatever they want because they're not Indian and Indians. And Mal asked, like, what do they call someone from Connecticut? And I was like, a Connecticution. And Steven laughed.
That just did not sound real. And the fact that another person said it unprompted, I'm like, oh. I feel like every state has a thing.
You know what? It does sound like someone getting executed in Connecticut.
What button combination in Mortal Kombat do you have to do to get a
Connecticution?
Anyway, Thomas, my guest this morning. Mal took a bike ride, although I just heard the garage open, so Mal finished her bike ride. She was up early because I remember waking up at like 7, and she was not there. And I was like, she's up and moving. So
I was up around like 6, and I was like, I don't want to be up right now.
See, normally I'm up at 6 because around like 6 o'clock is when the cat is like, hey, I want to drink water.
Yep.
But he's going to the vet today, so I drugged him last night.
So is that why he's not wandering around? Because he's like passed out somewhere?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I went and found him this morning, and he was on the guest bed, and I was like, hey, buddy, and he was like, hey. And I thought he would be a little more awake because I wanted him to eat his morning food and have his morning meds. But he was too drugged for that, and I was like, So he didn't get to eat anything this morning, but I did give him his meds, so he's at least had his medicine.
That's good.
And then he has to have more drugs in a little bit, so
sloth Kepi.
Yeah, he's gonna be out basically the rest of the day.
Is that just because he doesn't do well at the vet, or is it is there like another reason you gotta drug him?
It's because he doesn't do well at the vet. Most cats have to have GABA when they go to the vet. I'm sure there are cats that don't.
Like, this isn't my territory. There's been like 50 other cats and some other creatures that I don't understand here.
But Kep is super squirmy, so. Let me read some of these. I heard Mal come in, so she's here. We got 41 months from Zatoichi, 34 months from Nessa Zoro, 44 from Land 144, 30 months from Star Wars Trekkie, 68 from I Spy Moose, 43 from Topsy Kretz, 70 from Ryan B06, 300 bits from Belladonna Princess. Went to the doctors yesterday, found out I either had food poisoning or a 24-hour stomach bug. Feeling better today. Still a little nauseous, but better. Well, that's good. It's good that it's a temp thing and not a long-term thing.
You know, permanent food poisoning.
I mean, I guess you could manage to have permanent food poisoning.
If you were, like, allergic to all food.
Or if you just kept eating from the same source of food.
If you kept eating from the same Subway.
Yeah. Oh, man. Sorry. The other day in our meeting, we were talking about Subway. Specifically, we were talking about how food has become more expensive. Chaz already knows where I'm going with this. And Chaz was like, Subway is probably like $13 now. And I was like, no, it's not. I was like, Subway, an American institution, which proudly told people about their $5 footlongs for years, is not $13. And Chaz was like, let's find out. So he went to the Subway website, and he's like, I'm just going to click on the first sandwich I see. And it was like $12.62. And I was like, oh my God, that is $13 with tax. He's like, mm-hmm. And I was like, okay. Cool. Neat. We have a banh mi place here. like a local place. You get a nice authentic banh mi sandwich and a side of fries and a boba smoothie for $9.99.
Jeez.
So like
this is slowly turning. Have you ever seen Demolition Man?
No.
It basically Sylvester Stallone gets injured while going after a no, he doesn't get injured. He's they deem him as like too much of a threat as a cop because he's very like not by the books.
Yeah.
So they put him in a new prison with the person he caught that cryogenically freezes him. So he's sent to the future, and Taco Bell won the fast food war. So like the in the future, the only restaurant is Taco Bell. So it's like a really fancy, high end upscale place.
Sorry, I thought Dan was just saying that unrelated to what you were talking about.
No, that's part of Demolition Man.
I thought Dan was just like chiming in and be like, yeah, Subway sucks. Taco Bell won the fast food wars. And I was just sitting here processing that before you even mentioned it. And I was like, yeah, I guess they're ones that are still pretty cheap.
I recommend watching Demolition Man. It is ridiculous.
I should watch it. We just watched a movie. What did we watch? Oh, on our date night on Tuesday, we watched The Terminator, the original Terminator from '84. We had never seen it. And it's extremely good and still holds up. There's a few parts that the visual effects aren't as good, but a lot of the visual effects still are.
Wasn't it like a shoestring budget for that movie though? Like I
Maybe?
see, like one of my friends, also a film major, was telling me that like the effect where the smoke is billowing in as a hydraulic press is like crushing him. That's just a guy off screen blowing cigarette smoke.
Oh, it's a very small budget. $6 million. Yeah, that's a very, very small budget. So
adjusted for inflation, probably not so much.
Yeah. Neat.
What was it like? Clerks was like what budget was like under $100,000.
Oh yeah, Clerks was really, 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 really small. Yeah, that's it was fun. I had never seen Terminator. Mal had never seen Terminator, but we both had like some recollection of seeing Terminator on the television, and we realized after watching Terminator that it was definitely Terminator 2 that we've seen on the television.
Yeah,
we didn't remember any of this movie.
Terminator 2 is generally the one that people enjoy more.
Yeah.
Feel delighted from your tailbone to your knee with Tiny Eddie's Iced Argyle Rhino Brownies.
It's like not too far. That was a bit from Elvin Scout says, good morning and good vibes from New York. I hope the day finds y'all well. It's time for the occasional Tiny Eddie divination. Cast ye forth the bones of fate, O Edward of the diminished stature, and tell my future. Iced Argyle Rhino Brownies. Argyle's a pattern.
Or a lizard wizard, depending on who you ask.
Yes. I just think the concept of iced brownie is probably not good.
Well, unless it's like iced as in icing.
Mm.
And for all we know, rhino brownies could be the same as like what is it? Those zebra cupcakes, where it's just like a pattern that looks like a rhino. Like an
Argyle rhino.
Yeah, an Argyle rhino.
So this is just a Little Debbie snack cake.
The endangered Argyle rhino.
Are all rhinos endangered now? No, not all of them. Most of them? Some of them. It used to be the rhino wasn't endangered, but then at some point I think that they became endangered like in our lifetime.
But then people were like, look at that horn over there. It makes you perform better. Let's kill it and take his horn.
Yeah, the concept of horn for my horn happened, and that was the unfortunate decline of the rhino population. We got 59 months from Lixtrin. Horn for my horn.
There you go. There's the raid message.
43 months from Cody the Positron. 57 months from Queen's Thief. 37 from Sharkstole. 69 from Becca. Nice. 48 months from Super Thingy-Mabob. Congrats on the 4. 3 bits from Satsy. It says, Tom!
Tom!
That was good. Have you said your name before?
Never.
I feel like there might be video evidence against this.
No, I was referring to the drum.
Oh. Do you play a musical instrument?
I played euphonium in middle school, and that was about it.
That's an instrument that you don't hear much about.
It's like an alternate form of the baritone. Sounds like a trombone, but without the...
Whenever people talk about the instruments they play, euphonium is not one that comes up very often, so that's like...
I don't understand why. It's just a small tuba.
If you were to say small tuba, people might be like, yeah, small tuba.
It is literally a tuba, but like more marching band friendly.
Yeah. It's like a travel tuba.
Yeah.
Oh, good. All species... Well, sorry. Shouldn't start that with good. Good to know is what I meant. All species of rhinos
are of concern of being extinct/threatened.
Good. Rhinos, my least favorite. Yeah, I feel like that...
The rhinos are dying. Good.
I feel like that happened in our lifetime, because I feel like that was something that occurred in the last, 30 years. I actually really love rhinos, because it's... No. Let's not start the rumor that Stephen killed the rhinos. That's a bad rumor, especially because of the reason why people kill rhinos. He hates rhinos in Christmas.
Talks about it all the time.
I feel very positively about rhinos because of Donkey Kong Country. That was the youngest exposure I had to rhinos. I learned what a rhino was because of the video game.
Rambi,
Little Rambi.
Rambi acted like a dog in the first one, because if you left him alone, he'd turn toward the camera and pant. Yep.
I just thought he was hot. Figured it was hot in the jungle.
Oh, it was in temperature, got you.
Oh. Of course, I guess he does that in the Snowland, too. Haley's on a mission this morning. We got 61 months from Golden Age.
Haley is definitely on a mission this morning.
Sometimes she's on a mission.
The apex in relieved food. Tiny Eddie's world's weirdest turtle rolls.
Weirdest turtle rolls? That was a bit from Travis Salem. It says, I told Eddie recently that there is such a thing as a travel tuba, which sounds the same as a tuba, literally just smaller, different from a baritone or euphonium also. Oh.
Interesting. I know the sousaphone, which is more marching band friendly.
There are so many instruments. You think that there's 6, but there's so many more. It's like apples. You think that there's a few apples. Nope, there's so many.
Honeycrisp.
My brain was still parsing instruments. So I first was like, Honeycrisp. and then it was like, that's the apple. And I was yeah.
My favorite instrument, the Honeycrisp. It goes...
I think that has use in the band.
I think so too.
Anyway, enjoy the weirdest turtle roll.
The weirdest turtle roll.
There's a few here left. 7 months from Sky Pirate Fina. 71 from Chrissy G. 100 bits from Fire Goddess 1990. 300 bits from Belladonna Princess says, my dad had also gotten sick. We had both eaten Little Caesars pizza. Mom did not eat pizza. That's it.
Yeah.
That's it. I don't think I've ever not gotten sick from eating at Little Caesars. My history of the Little Caesars has been not good. I think it's because when I get them, I would get the just take it and go pizza.
Yep.
And it's how long has that pizza been there? It's I don't know.
Sideways.
Sometime before.
We had to disguise the letter grade of our establishment with the logo itself. If you can guess which letter grade we got based on that in Little Caesars Pizza.
Oh. Hey, welcome to Little Caesars Pizza. My favorite pizza topping is poison. I keep getting sick. It's really weird. Yeah.
That's effectively alcohol. I love this thing that's slightly poisonous to me.
Yeah. A slightly different effect. We also had 13 months from Lucas Tworka. Thank you. So, Tom, you drove like approximately 100 hours yesterday.
I did.
But you feel okay today?
Yeah.
Okay. You managed to get some sleep.
Yes.
Okay.
And this time I did not book a hotel in downtown Atlanta.
Probably a good call.
Yeah.
So how far are you driving then today?
Like another 12 hours. I'm stopping in Mississippi, which is much farther than I was thinking of going, because I was originally planning on stopping in Alabama.
You going to Biloxi?
I don't think I'm going to Biloxi.
It's a good place. That's a gamble place.
Oh.
Yeah, it's like Atlantic City or Vegas. So.
Or Foxwoods. Or Mohegan Sun. Sorry, I'm from Connecticut.
Yeah, when you start naming Connecticut stuff, I'm like, do I know anything about Connecticut? No. What's the capital of Connecticut?
Hartford.
Hartford. Like, that's a thing that I knew at some point. But all of the... There's like, what, 4 states up there that...
Yeah, like,
Connecticut, New Hampshire...
Like 5, it's... Connecticut,
Vermont.
Connecticut, New Hampshire, Vermont, Massachusetts, and Rhode Island.
Okay.
And Maine. Those all make up New England.
Like, some of the... And DL says, I'm so mad at you right now. Like, some of the...
Yeah, you stole our only men's sports team. We had the Hartford Whalers, and they became the Carolina Hurricanes.
That's true. Either Mao or Carly has a Hartford Whalers jersey, which is neat. Yeah, like when I think of states, I think, well, Massachusetts is a state.
Yep.
And then I think New England and Maine. And Rhode Island, I don't know. Rhode Island doesn't, in my brain, doesn't belong to Vermont, New Hampshire, and Connecticut. Like, those 3 are one state in my brain. Rhode Island is over here.
I like how Vermont, New Hampshire, and Connecticut constitute one state, but there's the entirety of Massachusetts between them.
Yeah, Massachusetts is its own thing. I think it's because it has Boston. And I'm like, well, it has Boston, so it's its own state. But also we have, like...
Oh, sweet, Stephen and friends.
I mean, appropriate. Yeah.
Hello, I'm the friend.
We've been to Rhode Island, briefly. Like,
Did you fly to Providence?
No, we drove through it.
Which means you would have had to have drove through Connecticut at some point.
Mm-hmm. There's only one state up yonder we haven't been to, and that's Vermont. It was out of our way to do Vermont. But otherwise, we've driven through all of the states up there. There's a bunch of states out west we haven't driven through.
Yeah, a lot of the mountain region, Midwest area is not a lot you drive through. Have you driven through Colorado?
We flew into Colorado, into Denver for a wedding, and we rented a car, and I drove around.
Okay.
So that one's checked off.
You owe it to Tiny Eddie to visit Montana.
Have you have you done a lot of like domestic traveling?
In my time, yeah, but like especially when I was younger, because my dad traveled a lot for work, and sometimes he'd take us on his business trips.
Okay.
So like I've been to California, Washington, obviously Texas, Montana, Florida, pretty much the entire like eastern seaboard I've been to. Ohio, Illinois, Michigan, Pennsylvania.
Like what grouping of states are you missing? Because like me and Mao, neither of us have been to any of the Great Plains states.
A lot of like the Great Plains, the western part of the Midwest, and pretty much like the entirety like the mountainous region. I've been to Colorado though. No, I haven't been to Montana. I've been to Colorado, not Montana.
You haven't been to like Minnesota or Wisconsin?
No.
You gotta go get some cheese. That's where the cheese is.
Actually, maybe I have, because I think my dad and I took a trip from somewhere in like mainland Michigan up to the Upper Peninsula, and I think we drove through. I think Minnesota's close to that, or is it Wisconsin? I don't know which side's on which.
Minnesota's on the left, and Wisconsin's on the
right. So we
right.
drove through Wisconsin.
Yeah. And then there's Michigan and the UP.
Yep.
Speaking of cheese, Cheesehammer gifted a sub to Quagsire is cool. You know a bit about Quagsire.
It is. I do. It's my favorite Pokemon. Oh, and we got a gifted sub to... It's not my stream. I don't know if I should do it.
I mean, I think you can do it. Yeah, the people that knew were like, "Oh God, the volume down."
Mute.
That was Dishnet gifting a sub to A. Dishnet, thank you. Kepler runs. Kepler's drugged. He's drugged and downstairs in the guest room.
Kepler's like, never mind.
I woke up, I was like, because he still had food in his dish up here from the night, and I was like, he was too drugged. So I went downstairs to look for him, and he was just curled up on the guest bed.
I just got big yawn-style Quagsire and Pokemon Sleep. The timing couldn't be better. I'm working towards that. I know they just released Wooper and Quagsire and Pokemon Sleep.
So what is Pokemon Sleep?
You know, like the sleep tracker on your Apple Watch?
Yeah.
It's that, but gamified.
How do you win?
There's like a variety of things you could do. Like every week you get a Snorlax.
Mm-hmm.
And then you've got like a bunch of Pokemon that sort of like help out, and you have to feed it like berries and like cook for it, and then it gains what is known as sleep power. By
Haley said you win by taking the eternal sleep. Oh no! But when you the better sleep you get, the better you do.
Yes.
Interesting.
And
so
it's like there's you get the most amount of points for getting at least 8 hours of sleep. And depending on how it tracks your sleep, whether you're getting like a lot of REM sleep, a lot of like I don't know what the middle tier of sleep is, or deep sleep, or like a healthy combination of the three, you'll unlock different Pokemon that way.
Oh.
I have currently just been getting very light sleep lately, probably because I've been traveling a lot.
So you have to get 8 hours of sleep to do good?
To get the maximum amount of points, yeah, you don't necessarily have to get 8 hours of sleep to play. You gonna download it?
No. I'm just gonna prove to myself that I can't win. Over the last 7 days, you've averaged 6 hours and 36 minutes of sleep. Let me look at a month. Let me look at 6 months. Oh yeah, this is super wrong. Can I do it where it's...
Go back?
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, this is super wrong.
Oh, because of the Japan trip.
No, that's not it.
Oh.
So I figured out a thing that was happening with the Apple Watch, which is weird. Once I figured
Did it think you were dead?
Okay. I'll explain this. This is a very weird specific problem, but a problem that I've had. So you can either just put your phone into sleep mode manually, or you can make it where like at a certain time
it
goes into sleep mode.
I have that on mine.
So what I've learned is that if you have it go into sleep mode, right? So it goes into sleep mode, and then you're not actually going to bed yet. So let's say it goes into sleep mode at midnight, but you get in bed at like 3 a.m., and then at 3 a.m. you're like, well, I'm going to bed now. And you go to the sleep thing and you change it from midnight to 3. Since it stayed in sleep mode, it may not actually start it at 3. It'll start it at midnight. So then it'll be like, oh, well, you've been in bed for 3 hours.
Okay.
And you haven't. So then there's a period of my life where it's like, good job, man. Because during
10 hours of sleep.
This 6-month stretch, you got like 10 hours. And I'm like, oh, that's super inaccurate. So I've learned how to make it not do that. What you do is you grab the whole thing and you just move it ahead like a bunch of hours and hit OK. So it's like, oh, okay, it gets out of sleep mode. Then you wait a minute and then you put it back. And then it's like, So, yeah, I could also probably just set it manually because there has hardly ever been a time where I'm in bed like right at the moment that the thing starts. So, probably shouldn't bother. Anyway, I'm doing fine. I usually get. I mean, I haven't gotten 7 hours in a bit, but I usually aim for like 7. We got 70 months from Jam Meepler, 22 months from Cat Lizard, and 300 bits from Tricky Antia says, I'm torn because I want to share Rhino facts, but also really need good vibes. My temporary work still hasn't started, and I haven't heard anything from my hiring manager, who I have no direct line of contact with, in 2 weeks. Lovely. Good vibes.
Good vibes.
That sucks. Can you reach back out to, like, the place in some way? I mean, if you can't reach the hiring manager, I hope that it resolves itself soon, regardless, because that does suck. I also have an issue in my life right now where I'm waiting to hear back from someone, and I haven't, and I'm closing in on 2 weeks.
Yeah, I'll get back to that email when I can. Whatever.
There's someone in my life! Yeah, so I know that feeling. It does suck, though, like, for this or any other situation where you are literally waiting for someone and you can't do anything, whether that's a hiring manager or, like, someone that's gonna come fix your toilet or, like, whatever it is, and you're just like...
Any day now.
Please do thing. Yeah, I'm waiting on something, and I'm gonna have to do something about it next week. Jay Lineback gifted a sub to Torgo the White, and we also had 44 months from PK Daisy.
The haunting Torgo theme.
Speaking of haunting, did you hear what happened to Guillermo del Toro?
No, what happened?
Apparently he was staying in a hotel, and he was like, this is haunted, and I have to tweet about the haunting. I woke up this morning, and there's all these tweets, because he was, like, up all night and was like, my hotel room is haunted. Let me tell you about the fact that it is haunted. And I was like, it's like, okay. I can't tell if he's drumming up something for...
Like a movie?
Like a movie, or if he's just like, I'm Guillermo del Toro and I am scared in my hotel room.
I am Guillermo del Toro and that's like an intro to Jackass. I'm Guillermo del Toro and I'm afraid of my hotel room.
Yeah, so hopefully he's doing all right. I didn't, like, sit there and read them all. I just saw that it was happening, and I was like, all right.
Have you ever seen Steve-O's YouTube channel?
Yes.
It's very interesting to hear him talk about that stuff, like, 20 years down the line.
I don't know how that man is alive.
Same here.
Like, it doesn't make a lot of sense. He's broken a lot of bones. He's had a lot of things happen.
He's had to have his teeth replaced, like, 4 times.
Yep.
It's just Johnny Knoxville in a ghost outfit.
Johnny Knoxville's another person that, like these... I mean, I guess they have the money to make themselves look like people again, but these are both people that have been in so many accidents.
Yeah.
It is wild.
He just, like... and the thing with Steve-O is that, like, it's not that he had his teeth knocked out, he just didn't take care of his teeth. Like, even after he had, like, fake ones put in, he just didn't take care of them, so he consistently had to have them, like, changed out.
Every time? Certainly he had his teeth knocked out at some point, right?
Dentists hate him.
At least, like, once.
I'm not entirely sure, like... I don't know how many of his teeth he did have knocked out, but he showed off, like video, or like, what they had to do to, like, replace the teeth, and he basically just has, like, these little nubbins for teeth that they have to put, like,
crowns.
New teeth over.
Yeah, they do that. Yeah, he is a fascinating person, though. Every once in a while, something will come across, like, YouTube where he's doing an interview or something, and he's like, there was this one time where I ate 6 knives and then rode a bull into a lake. And I'm like, this man's alive. And he's like, it was a bad idea. Don't do that.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. He's, I don't know that that's only from our generation. Like, once you start getting just a little bit younger than us, like, they don't know what Jackass is.
Yeah. You have to imagine that, like, somebody in, like, the younger generation, like, has seen Jackass, and it's like, dude, we gotta do this.
Well, the thing is, that's just TikTok. That's just like people eating Tide Pods or whatever. So it's like that's a lot worse, honestly. I think I don't want to defend MTV, but like MTV is probably the winner here because it's better to see something on television that has a little warning that's like, "Hey, don't do this. These people are idiots."
As opposed to something on TikTok where it's just where there's no warning and it's just normal people doing it.
Yeah. So DLC.
Jackass, yeah, that's true. Jackass did have a new movie like 2 years ago.
Did they?
Yeah, they. I can't remember what exactly what it was called, but they did have a movie.
Like Jackass 4.
What was the other thing I was? Oh, one of I shouldn't laugh at this one because Johnny Knoxville got brain damage from it, but the department store boxing is one of my favorite things that they've ever done. Because he hit when Butterbean knocked him out, he hit the floor hard. But him coming back to reality and being like, "Is Butterbean okay?" It like lives rent free in my head.
Haley says, "Thank you for not making us do Jackass stunts." There's still time.
Make that a GTA 5 Let's Play.
We have to reenact everything we do in the game. Perfect. Everyone stand on top of this moving bus. So the first movie was 2002. The second movie was 2006. Then I remember 3D, because I remember we saw 3D in college. Yeah. Yeah, Jackass 3D came out, and all of us and my college roommates went to see the movie in 3D. And that was interesting. It's, like 3D vomit or whatever. But there was more movies after this?
I think there was just the one.
How?
I think it was called Jackass Forever.
Oh, yeah. 2022.
Yep.
I haven't seen this.
Sounds like the topic of a movie night.
I would watch this. The budget, $10 million. The box office, $80 million. Terminator budget, $6 million.
I wonder what's considered a box office flop? Is it just when they don't make their money back?
I mean...
Or is it when they don't, like, make a profit?
Yeah, I mean, breaking even is also bad.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if you don't make the money, that's bad. I think there's probably a ratio of, like, if you don't make X amount... Yeah, Crescendo says they gotta make 50% more than the budget. There's some thing. NDL says you need to make about twice the budget to break it. I would believe anything NDL says related to movies. So, twice the budget to break even. Gross.
See now, here's the thing. What if that was actually David Lynch?
Really had us going for a long time. I've met NDL.
Oh, marketing isn't included in the budget. Oh, okay.
NDL is responsible for why the Fallout finale is so good, because NDL was the one that led me around Boston.
What kind of bird is that?
This is a wren. I'm going to call that a wren. Someone might have a better answer, but that kind of looks like a wren.
It's a yellow-crested hibble-dipper.
They got weird birds in Connecticut.
They do got weird birds in Connecticut.
That's not a wren.
Have you ever heard what a what a grackle sounds like? They've got a very weird cry.
If I heard it, I would probably recognize it.
It kind of goes like...
Mao has an app on her phone that's just like birds.
Birds.
And you can just type in grackle, and it'll just play it. It's a really cool app. We've talked about it before. It's free.
Oh, yeah, it might be a quail.
It's like bird time, Merlin. Yeah, Merlin bird app. It's free, and you can go outside, and you can press the listen to bird button, and it'll just listen to whatever the bird is, and it'll just tell you what bird is singing.
That's a bird.
It just comes up and says, that's a bird. Merlin Bird ID. Yeah, it's a very cool app. We had 300 bits from Gold Mage. It says 2024 is year of dino plus non-dinos. Praise Chaz. The woolly rhino, which went extinct about 14,000 years ago, was covered in hair and had 2 horns, the first up to 4 feet long. It and today's rhinos have horns made entirely of keratin, like your fingernails. Woolly rhino was contemporary with early humans and is depicted extensively in early art, and several naturally preserved specimens have been found.
Okay, so to all the rhino poachers watching Breakfast Stream right now,
Of which like 50% of our audience.
of
really.
course, yeah. Just use fingernails. They're made of the same stuff.
People buying like fingernail jars on eBay. Like, all right, this is it. This is what I need. The rhinos get to leave.
Yeah, that's the that's the worst charity ever. Fingernails for rhinos.
Just gluing new fingernails onto their horns. We have 500 bits from W. James MCI. It says, word of the day is Whoop Her Up, a second-rate singer who produces noise rather than music. I couldn't find a Quagsire up. Sorry, Tom. Whoop Her Up.
That's my example of a whooper up.
That still sounds like music, though. To me. Like, what is... I don't know. That's subjective, isn't it? That's subjective. What is noise and what is music? To some people, I guess, like, metal would be noise.
Yep.
It depends on the person. Vagabond says, just because it was sing-songy? Yeah. Sounds like Pearl Jam's Yellow Lid Better. I've never learned the lyrics to that song, and I never want to know. Because every time it comes up, I'm just like, I don't know what they're saying.
It's fun to make up lyrics to just like to songs that you don't understand.
And the horse well, hey. I don't want to get in the backwoods salmonella.
I don't want to get backwoods salmonella.
I think that's the actual lyrics. I'm pretty sure I don't want to get backwoods salmonella is part of Yellow Ledbetter.
Salmonella!
I'm like pretty sure. Cheese Hammer gifted a sub to Rhino Poacher.
There he is. It's one of the 50% of people watching Breakfast Stream.
We got... we have a lot of Rhino Poachers.
Breakfast Stream! Popular with Europeans and Rhino Poachers.
Is that what the Europeans are up to?
No. They're two separate demographics. There might be a little bit of like divergence on the Venn diagram there, but
probably some overlap.
But like the
very small Venn diagram.
The reason I say Europeans is because it's early enough for them to watch it, as opposed to like a later stream that they wouldn't be able to watch because it's too late and they got to go snooze.
Yeah, it's like the afternoon stream for Europeans.
Yeah, it's breakfast stream for us. It's midday tea stream for them.
Yeah, I mean, midday tea. Breakfast stream is accessible to everyone, which is why streaming at 9 a.m. is the best time slot.
What time is it in Australia right now?
Ooh. Okay, it might be slightly different. In Japan, it's what? Japan's 13 hours ahead, so it's like 10 p.m.
Unfollow European. I'm so sorry to our European viewers. Please don't unfollow.
Okay, yeah, these times are all fair.
Actually, that's 10:30 p.m. in Japan. It's not bad.
Whatever time it is here, but upside down.
You know what it actually isn't very friendly to? California.
Yeah,
you're starting at 6 a.m. in California.
Yes, yeah, it's a little early there, but I mean, could you? Yeah, you could. Every once in a while, we'll have someone from the West Coast that is not normally up. And they'll be like, I'm here and shouldn't be. Sometimes the person is Jules.
And Jules will be like, I'm about to go to bed.
Jules would, for the longest time, be a part of Breakfast Stream. And if he was, it was always a bad thing. Because
out of context, it sounds like you really don't like Jules.
It was because Jules was only ever here if he hadn't gone to bed yet. And I was like, buddy, that's not good. It has to be at least 6 a.m. And he's like...
It is.
But he hasn't been here in a long time, and I'm proud of him for that. The longer he goes without being here, the happier I am.
Well, what if he like comes into breakfast stream and he's like, "Good morning, Grandpa. I got 8 hours of sleep and I'm up at 6 a.m. to watch breakfast stream."
Someone has stolen his identity. It's the only explanation. I don't.
What if we see him at Coliseum and he's shaved, he's got a clean haircut, he got all of his tattoos removed, and he's wearing a suit?
I would want to talk to him so bad.
Would or wouldn't?
I would. I would just want to know. I would like, so what happened in your life?
Oh yeah, dude, I became a born-again Christian.
I noticed that there's been some changes. Some very extreme changes. Blink twice if you need help. Yeah, there would have been some...
Praise Jesus, he's a born-again Christian. I've become a Mormon.
There would have had to have been some really big... And he's a carnivore.
And he's a carnivore, yes.
That's the big thing. He's like, I started eating meat. Got rid of all my tattoos. Put on a suit. That's what... When people eat meat, straight to the suit.
There you go.
Always. Scientology is good now.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no. Oh, no. We got 58 months of Tier 2 Gold Toast from Grabobly. Grabobly, thank you. Haley says, when are we getting commune tattoos? Yeah, we talked about that once. Like, not in a serious
Once part of the commune, always part of the commune.
We talked about that once. Morning, Popsky. I don't know, I don't know when that's happening. My skin keloid's really bad, so I probably shouldn't get a tattoo. I could get, like, a dot, maybe.
It just spreads.
The tattoo?
Well, your skin's bad, so I was thinking maybe that you put it on there and it'd be like...
I don't know what would happen if I got a tattoo. So, Haley says, I decided I'm too indecisive for tattoos. That's why I'm filling myself with holes.
There's nothing I like enough to put it on my skin permanently.
I've just been averse to it based on the fact that I don't think my skin would heal very well. So instead of a normal looking tattoo, it would be like a melted. It'd be like that one enemy from Metroid Fusion.
If I ever got a tattoo, I'd want to be like I'd either want it to be... I actually don't know. I don't know what I want in a tattoo. Quagsire tattoo? I don't like Quagsire enough to have it put on my body.
No, Radio Jet says they said about my skin type too, and I have a sleeve now. Okay, well. I would...
I'm Tom across your chest. Good lord.
If I were to ever get a tattoo, like, the only thing that I can think that is appropriate would probably be, like, something Earthbound related. But I don't know what I would do. I'm not sure. But I think that's been kind of the biggest driving force across...
Gygus on your shoulder would be pretty good.
See, that's so big.
What do you mean?
Like, that's so much. I don't know. I want, like... I don't know what I would want from Earthbound. I don't think it would be Gygus.
A Mr. Saturn tramp stamp.
You've done it. That's it. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want a Mr. Saturn in that spot, but winking. Like, hey.
Or like, it'd be a good Earthbound tattoo would be like a sleeve of like the designs of like one of the PSI attacks.
Ooh, that would be cool. That would be very, very cool. Haley said, Mr. Saturn is so brat. I don't have time to do that. Last night, me and Mal...
I don't understand it either. It's fine.
Okay, thank God. Me and Mal and Dan and Tom and Chaz and Haley...
And
Jeff. We were all over playing games. And Haley was trying to explain brat to me. And I don't think I got it. Yeah. And also something about... being Brett means you're so Julia. Chaz says slurp.
Slurp, yeah. It started because Chaz said slurp is brat.
I don't know, man. I'm like... I am trying, and I can't understand.
I mean, according to Breathe Wildly, Steven, you're so Julia.
Yeah, and if that means, like, Julia Childs, that's fine, because that's very, like, that's good energy. Haley says Steven is the opposite of Julia? I'm getting mixed messages.
Ooh. Are you brat? Are you not brat?
Just want you to know I'm Googling this right now.
Tom, what do you keep playing with? My foot.
I'm Googling, what does it mean to be Julia?
It's the apple crisp. Or the honey crisp.
We had, it's fast. Things happen faster. We had 50 months from Salamis Dragoon. 300 bits from Will Peterson says, Tom, while you're here, don't drink the punch. You may wind up with a tattoo. 300 bits from Satsy. It says, yesterday I got in touch with my aunt from my dad's side of the family. We haven't seen each other in nearly 20 years. It lifted a lot off my chest I didn't realize was there. Aw.
Clown. Also beans.
Beans. That's nice. That's very nice. I don't think I ever talked about it because I didn't film it. But when I was back home visiting my family a few months ago and I saw my grandma, I also at the time saw some other extended family, including one of my cousins, and I hadn't seen my cousin in
80 years.
16 years, I think. Maybe a little more.
It's kind of how it
17?
was when I went to my cousin's wedding in Seattle. I hadn't seen... The last time I saw him, he was like 10, and now he's like in his late 20s.
Yeah. I'm not really close with my extended family at all. Not out of disdain, but just like, I don't...
Out of, I'm too busy with everything.
Like, I don't... We live in faraway places.
I know.
We live in faraway places, so like we don't communicate at all. So if I see them, it's kind of rare. I googled what does it mean to be Julia.
I have heard demure. I've heard demure because my friends were saying that when I was playing Among Us with them, and okay. I thought I didn't think it was a meme. I thought they were just expanding their vocabulary.
Julias are very wholehearted. They care so much for others, even though it may not seem like it, and love is rarely shown back to them.
That doesn't sound very brat.
This is Julia.
Yeah, but Julia is so brat.
Is it?
Or brat is so Julia?
Haley says that's the wrong Julia.
I know demure is actually a word, but I thought my friends were just happy to expand their vocabulary, and it was an unrelated meme to something of being just like, oh, this is demure.
Oh, hold on. I found an entire article that says, what does I'm so Julia mean? It is a lyric from Charlie XCX's hit track 360 off her popular 2024 album, Brat. Haley says, I'm decently brat, but maybe not so Julia. Okay.
Isn't that hers mom? Is hers mom brat?
Who is her? The movie?
No.
The computer?
No.
In the movie?
No.
Nisazora says, I'm too old for this. How do you think I feel?
How
do you think I feel?
The love of your life when you moved to Long Life Town.
Oh, from Chulip.
Yeah. Is hers mom so brat?
I wrote this song, which is basically about how you, Julia Fox, I don't know who that is, started every trend of 2022. I'm everywhere. I'm so Julia, as in, I'm the reference. I'm everywhere like Julia Fox is everywhere. Okay.
Are you everywhere? Apparently I'm everywhere.
It means just being that girl. Being confident. Putting yourself out there. Being out. Being about. Being the center of attention. Just being that B word. This is Breakfast Stream.
Bonch.
I still don't understand. I read this, and I still don't understand what I read. Like, this wasn't helpful. What does it mean to just be that girl? What does that? That doesn't even explain anything. Just being that girl. What does that mean?
You're that girl.
I'm so... Oh my god, further down it says, what does Brat Summer mean? Oh, this could be helpful. After the album's release, people began joking about having a Brat Summer, which I'm going to be honest, and you may laugh at me for this, I have seen this phrase multiple times, and I always thought it was Brat Summer. Always. It wasn't until, I think, last night, whenever I heard Haley say Brat Summer, I was like, oh, I thought everyone was having a Brat Summer, which I would love to have. Love to have a Brat Summer.
It's gotta be, you only eat brats during Oktoberfest, though, so it wouldn't be a Brat Summer.
That's why it's so unique.
Oktoberfest!
Being a brat is a much more grunge, gritty experience than we've enjoyed in quite some time. What does that mean? Who?
Tom, you're banned from Wisconsin now.
Who writes this? The color lime green is also very key to the aesthetic, which can be seen in many So Julia memes as well. It can go that way, like luxury, but it can also be so trashy, just like a pack of cigs and a Bic lighter, and like a strappy white top with no bra. This doesn't explain anything. Nothing. Vagabond says this man really is the embodiment of Ohio. What does that mean?
Bud, you gotta go put on your white top with no bra.
What is this? Like, my first thought is like, this article was definitely generated by AI. But then I'm like, no, it actually wasn't. Like, a human being wrote this, and I have no idea what any of it means. Anyway, we have 300 bits from Dan the Warrior says, hello, Stephen and Quagmire in human form, a.k.a. Tom.
Yeah, I saw in chat he meant to write Quagsire.
Is Quagmire a new form of Pokemon?
No, that's the guy from Family Guy.
I can't wait until we get that crossover. I hope y'all are doing well. I'm just taking a break from playing Fire Emblem Awakening in hard mode, and unlike Fates, I feel like I can actually do this.
Good job. Glenn Quagmire's name means swamp, swamp, swamp. A Glen is a swamp. A Quag is a swamp. A Mire is a swamp.
That's actually very clever.
The man's name is Swamp, Swamp, Swamp.
That's extremely clever. I like that a lot. I never thought about that. Does Quagsire live in a swamp?
Yeah, he's a giant salamander.
So that's very appropriate.
Yeah, he is the king of the swamp, Quagsire.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense. Okay, Dan says, God, I hate autocorrect. I meant to say Quagsire, not Quagmire. Well, it caused a great conversation, so it was fine.
It did.
And Cheesehammer gifted a sub to Bratwurst Summer.
Bratwurst Summer. Oh yeah, the Bratwurst Summer.
I've learned a lot of things because of chat.
And none of them good.
I've learned a lot of things because of Haley. I've learned a lot of things like from Mal too. Juliet also. New terms and phrases. I'm doing the best I can. Do people still say radical?
I do.
That's all that
Radical.
matters. That's all that matters. That's all that matters.
I say rad.
Yeah, people say rad.
I think part of that is because of
Sometimes that happens.
Sometimes that happens.
We get we don't say bodacious anymore. That's gone.
No.
Bodacious is like 80s, and it's. Do people still say that, So Raven? Did they ever say that?
Oh yeah, they said it on ESPN.
Okay. Tubular. Ooh, tubular.
Tubular's good.
I like bodacious.
No, but that's rad. I think I got from Yakuza 0. Because whenever Kiryu sees a new fighting style that he wants to try, he's like, "That's rad!"
I learned gnarly, radical, bodacious, tubular, all of those words
from Super Mario World.
You could learn some of those words from Super Mario World. I was going to say the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And also a Crayola VHS that teaches you how to draw. There's a Crayola VHS that teaches you how to draw, and there's a part where kids say all those words.
To the max.
And I was like 4, and I was like, okay, so these are words that I should use all the time. That is the one that Alex has. I don't think he's watched it yet. So at some point he should watch it. We get 300 bits from Satsy. It says, we are too neurodivergent to comprehend the terms the neurotypicals write, but not too neurodivergent to use them in the right context somehow. Shrug.
Clown.
I think words are accessible to all people. Unless you're really old, which is me. And
You are a year older than I am.
Yeah, but how much older mentally am I than you?
I think if that's the case, you died 20 years ago.
Yeah, that's... I'm like 76. Maybe 78. So... Haley says, I mean, I'm neurodivergent with a special interest in slang, so... And you're an English major.
Wait, I was gonna say, it sounds like you're talking about, like, your major. It's like, I'm an English major with a minor in slang.
I mean, that might be a thing. I don't know. That's probably a thing. Anyway, we're nearing the end of the breakfast stream. Tom, you are going to be driving back to Texas over the course of the next, 2 days?
2 days, yep. Hopefully, if I'm swift and efficient, I should be back in Austin, Texas by the eve of the 23rd.
So I'm assuming you won't be streaming over the next 2 days.
Correct. Theoretically...
You won't. So when you finally arrive back...
Here's the thing. If I were to...
Yeah.
It would just be like phone mounted somewhere where it's like looking at me, and then somebody on call to relay the chat to me, because I will not be looking.
Yeah, because you can't do that. Yeah, that's when it's good to have a co-pilot. But your co-pilot is Manatee, who last I checked was not able to read.
He can read,
which is unfortunate.
No, he can read.
Oh, he can?
Yeah. But he only reads the language of food.
He's just sitting there looking for images of food. And he barks.
It's so funny. He's such a little guard dog, because that's just how the breed goes.
Yeah.
So like, anytime Dan comes out of his room, roar, roar. Every time somebody came into Dan's house, came into the Triforce house.
Yeah.
He was barking at him.
Like Jeff opened the door and he was like, "Whoa!" And then Jeff comes up the stairs. He's like, "Oh, okay." It's like 1 or 2 good barks when the door opens, and then everything's fine.
He did bark at the air conditioner in the Triforce house as well.
Air conditioner's dangerous.
Yeah.
So when you do get back home, what are you working on? It's what, Thursday? So you won't be doing streams again until next week.
I could probably squeeze one in on Saturday.
On Saturday night?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I need to get back to doing the Fire Emblem Path of Radiance Let's Play. And then I also want to finish Fire Emblem Engage on stream. And then just, see where it goes and do whatever the heck I want.
Path of Radiance is the GameCube one?
Yes.
Okay.
It's good. I think, too, I look at, modern Fire Emblem games, and, the way that it's... the Path of Radiance story is very nuanced. I like it a lot. Seems very
Oh, I have played Path of Radiance. That's right. There was an Extra Life that we played it, and I killed Boyd.
That's right.
It was very hard to do.
Somebody in the comments of my one of the videos I put out was like, I'm glad to see somebody in the Throne Controllers community who actually is giving Boyd a shot instead of just trying to kill him.
It is so hard to kill Boyd in the first fight. I managed to do it, but it was hard. You have to take away all his stuff and put him in a path where he gets completely
Obliterated.
but
Yep.
you can do it.
You're probably also playing on like an easier difficulty, which makes it really hard for them to kill you.
Yeah, like normal.
Yeah.
So,
well, Path of Radiance, what was it? Yeah, Path of Radiance, it's got the... I can't... Does it have easy, normal, and hard in the English one? Basically, what they reduced the difficulty curve for the U.S. release. So, like, what would be the normal difficulty in Japan is like an easier difficulty for us.
oh, interesting.
And then, like, the harder difficulty is normal, and then the hardest difficulty is their hard. And I don't know if you can unlock Maniac mode in the English one, but it's yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, US normal as opposed to Radiant Dawn where US normal is JP hard. Yeah, they switched it around for the release of Radiant Dawn where easy is normal mode, normal is hard mode, hard is Maniac mode. You can't get Maniac mode at all in the English version. Wow.
Are you playing it where when a guy dies you're dead, or do you reset?
I've reset.
Okay. I've only ever played Fire Emblem once. Like, actually played it.
You could really like back yourself into a corner if a lot of like your good units die and you're stuck with like the ones that don't have a lot of experience.
I'm assuming it's possible to like not be able to win the game, which is very appealing to me. I keep a master list of games that like I want to possibly do for streams or something, and Fire Emblem's been on there for a long time because I would love to do one of the Fire Emblem games and like you just play it where it lies. And if I manage to like not win because all of my units die, it's like, well,
one of my favorite
that game's over.
One of my favorite things is when you have story relevant characters that die and they're just like, I can't fight anymore. I'm just gonna back out. And so they're still there in cutscenes, but they can never join battle again.
Why is that appealing? I don't know. I like the idea of there being extreme consequences. That part is very fun. So when you're playing a game that's like, I don't know, Minecraft or whatever, where you can set it where you just, if you die, you lose everything forever. I feel like that's really extreme. But I like Fire Emblem because you have all these different people. So like if one guy dies, you're like, oh shoot, okay, that was bad. That was really bad. And then you can still keep playing, but you have to just live with that as opposed to losing everything immediately. So
I don't know about Japanese releases, but I know for Awakening was the first game that added like what are called skirmishes, where they're non-story related fights you can do to sort of like train up your units, and it's good for that. So if you want it like easier,
yeah,
then Awakening would be a good way to go, because if any of your big units die, you can always train up another unit through skirmishes. But like going for like Path of Radiance and Radiant Dawn would be a little bit more difficult because you don't have that option. You just have to sort of like push like these weaker units into battle and hope to God that they don't die and get strong enough to replace the ones that did die.
3 Bits from Dan says, my experience with doing harder modes in Fire Emblem has a mixed reception for me personally, because Awakening is difficult, yeah, but with a good strategy, it works. It works. Fates...
Do you want another guest? My mom is calling. Hi, Mom. You're live on stream right now.
Oh, okay. How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Where are you?
I'm at Steven's place. We're doing we're live on stream right now. My the chat can hear you.
Hi, Tom's mom.
Okay.
That's Steven.
Oh, hi, Stephen. How are you?
Pretty good. How are you?
Good.
Good.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to make sure you got somewhere safe.
Yep, I made it here safe. I'm sorry I didn't text you last night saying that I got here safe.
That's okay. All right. You have a great stream.
All right, I love you, Mom.
Love you too.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh, that's nice.
He's safe with the Raleigh cult.
You're gonna leave here with a tattoo. My experience with doing harder modes in Fire Emblem has a mixed reception for me personally, because Awakening is difficult, but with a good strategy it works. Fates, hard mode will mess you up, and I almost did Lunatic in Fates. There's a lot of Fire Emblem games.
There are.
And some of them are very hard.
I don't have the patience to play the first one, because it is just so slow.
The first, like, the NES one?
The NES one, yeah.
Oh, okay. The only Fire Emblem game I've played was the first U.S. release for GBA.
Blazing Sword. It was just called Fire Emblem in the US.
I know it is Fire Emblem, so that's the only one I've played.
We got Blazing Sword as our first Fire Emblem in the US.
I think I beat it.
Then we got
Probably
Sacred Stones. Then the remake of one for the DS called Shadow Dragon. Or no, maybe I think Path of Radiance is before that. Maybe Radiant Dawn as well. And then Awakening. And then Fates.
We finally started getting them because of Melee.
Yep.
So everyone that loves Fire Emblem has to thank Roy and Marth for forging that.
We didn't even get Roy's game in the States.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right.
And Roy appeared in Melee before he appeared in his own game.
We should probably wrap up because I know you are going to have to drive like 1,000 hours.
Yeah.
But thank you for being here.
I appreciate it.
And you can come back and visit Raleigh anytime you want. We got a guest room.
As long as I don't bring Manatee.
Yeah.
Because I'd have to stay at Triforce House.
Yeah, we can't hold Manatee.
Yeah.
But we can hold Tom.
Yep.
That's something we could do.
I like Triforce House though. That fold-out bed is surprisingly comfortable.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Good. Everyone wish Tom safe travels.
Plus, Dan's a cool dude.
I love Dan.
I love Dan too.
Dan is one of my best friends in the world. Y'all have yourselves a wonderful Thursday. Me and Mal will be back tomorrow night at 8 p.m. Eastern for Zelda, finally doing viewer suggestions.
Have you started the vlog today?
No.
When you start the vlog and you're trying to figure out what day it is, I want you to put in this clip where you wished everybody a happy Thursday.
Okay. I'll do it. Watch me forget to do it. I would completely forget.
You're also gonna forget. Like, you almost always forget what day it is because you're like, today is, and then you got to remember. Oh, we did breakfast stream, so it's.
Yeah, I can remember during breakfast stream because I'm like, it has to be Tuesday or Thursday, and sometimes I do mess that up. I get them confused, but I got it. I'm like, it's Thursday. All right, y'all have yourselves a wonderful Thursday, and we'll see you tomorrow night for Zelda.
Zelda.